It's 9:35 K-Day's Morning Show. Your boy Romeo, and I'm blessed with the presence of I can actually say my longtime friend because we've known each other for a few years. DJ Cassidy, what up, my man?
How are you, sir?
I'm excited about life, and I'm just excited about you. So I know you're here. We have lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about, and I must say we've talked about it all over the past 4 years. You were there at the very, very, very start of this Pass the Mic journey.
Yeah. And I love the fact you started this during the pandemic, right? So Cassidy, when you started during the pandemic, it was an exciting moment. But did you plan this far ahead? Because you had to know at some point we all were going to be back outside. And now you're taking this to Vegas?
We're taking it to Vegas. So 4 years ago right now, May 2020, I was filming what became Pass the Mic Volume 1.
Yeah.
I premiered Pass the Mic Volume 1 on July 6, 2020. Never in my wildest imagination did I think that that 30-minute webisode would turn in to a live Las Vegas residency.
Pretty much exactly 4 years later, because it's the first show, I think, what, July 5th?
The first show is July 5th.
That is
It is
crazy.
exactly 4 years to the day that I premiered the first edition.
Okay.
Now, I envisioned taking the show on the road, but not initially. I thought that first webisode was going to be a special, magical moment in time.
Right.
And might come and go. After the initial reaction, it was clear that I had to jump into a Volume 2. And after Volume 2, it was clear I had to jump into a Volume 3. And after Volume 3, BET called. And the rest is television history. Volume 1 aired in July 2020. Volume 2 of Pass the Mic aired August 2020. Volume 3 of Pass the Mic aired October 2020. And November 21st, the first television special aired on BET, and over 1 million televisions were watching. At that point, I knew that the future had just begun. At that point, I knew that this was something truly special. But Volume 1, 4 years ago, I had no idea that you and I would be sitting here talking about Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, a residency about to go down right now. And here's the thing that really blows me away and says a lot about you, right? The fact that you can open up your Rolodex, go on your cell phone, whatever you want to call it, depending on today's times, and you can make this phone call to these people like Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Ghostface Killer, Too Short. Now, these are people that live all over the world, different places. They have their own itinerary, but they put it all to the side to rock with you. How did this relationship come about?
Well, I must first say that Pass the Mic is all about the artists.
Yes.
I'm truly just the messenger. I'm the bridge. And, you know, before every live show, I try to get all the artists performing to come together to say a few words before I take the stage. And one thing I always say is that my name might be on the marquee, but they're here to see you. And I truly believe that. I have believed that from the very beginning. So it's an honor to be able to call my heroes on the phone. You know, when I started DJing, I was 10 years old. And I never dreamt of any of this. But one thing I dreamt about was I wanted my favorite rappers to know my name. At that age, I idolized Tretch of Naughty by Nature. And the fact that Tretch has become a friend is still very surreal. It's still very surreal to me. And it's surreal across the board. All of the R&B and hip-hop icons that have taken part in Pass the Mic were my heroes before they ever knew my name. So I'm really grateful that not only can I call them and invite them to take part in this experience, but I'm just grateful that they know who I am. That was really what it was all about for me at the early age. I wanted my heroes to know who I was. I wanted to make some kind of impact and some kind of contribution to the culture of hip-hop. So I feel very, very blessed and very, very grateful that my hip-hop heroes have become my friends and now collaborators. And not only collaborators, but collaborators on stage.
On stage. So let me ask you this, DJ Cassidy. who is the first artist you've ever had that you put into your cell phone to make contact
Wow.
with? Because the reason why, obviously, you're a fan of their work.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I remember.
If you had to pick a top, maybe guess, because I'm intrigued by that, because obviously you built this legacy. You were building your legacy not knowing you guys would meet at the same point at some point.
Well, yeah, there's two people that come to mind. I can't remember specifically who was the first person I put in to my StarTAC Motorola. I'm guessing that was the phone at that time.
Yeah.
It would have been a StarTAC Motorola if I could remember the exact person. But I'd like to answer it from a slightly broader perspective.
Even better.
There are two people that have become frequent collaborators, one of whom I've mentioned, that have really been a part of my journey. One is Tretch of Naughty by Nature. I've known Tretch since I was a little kid. I was such a super fan that my parents would take me to Naughty by Nature concerts and to wherever to an album signing, and I showed up at so many places where Naughty by Nature was that they began to recognize me as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when my career blossomed, we met again, but this time through my career. And so Tretch really has been there from the beginning of my career and took part in my show at Radio City Music Hall celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Tretch most recently came out at the Prudential Center in his hometown of Newark, New Jersey, this past May 11th, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He surprised the fans. He was my surprise guest, and that show featured Boyz II Men, TLC, Bobby Brown, Method Man, Redman, Faith Evans, Total. And Tretch came out as a surprise guest in his hometown, and it was just very full circle for me every time he and I are on the stage together. Another person who's been there really from the beginning with me is none other than the greatest entertainer, Dougie Fresh.
Come on now.
Who is one person taking part in the Las Vegas residency, which we're going to get to.
Yes, we are.
So Tretch and Dougie Fresh have really been a part of my life and my journey and my career for a very long time. And you know who else has been? Run from Run DMC.
Okay.
Has been a dear friend and a dear mentor for many, many years. And who gets to say that? Run of Run DMC is the epitome. The epitome. I still say to this day, if an alien came from outer space and said, Cassidy, what is hip-hop? I would show them a picture of Run DMC and Jam Master Jay, and I would play them sucker MCs.
Come on.
If I had to choose one image and one song to represent what I thought hip-hop was to an alien from outer space, it would be that. So very, very honored to call Run a friend and a mentor. And, of course, I knew Run before Run knew me. Many, many, many years before Run knew me.
And now y'all run the streets together. You gotta love that, man. That is so awesome that you've got this going on. And once again, it's going down in Vegas. Tickets on sale right now. I know we're going to have some tickets to give away on the show, so I'm excited about that.
So let's talk about Vegas.
Let's talk about this lineup, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm bringing DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic live to Las Vegas. We're calling it the iconic Las Vegas residency, taking place at the Back Theater at Planet Hollywood. Now, this is the theater where J-Lo brought her residency.
Okay.
This is the theater where Gwen Stefani brought hers, where Backstreet Boys bought theirs. Shania Twain is in there right now. She loads out the day that we load in.
Come on now.
This is as real as it gets. And I knew that we had to create something special. So I called up Ja Rule, I called up Fat Joe, I called Dougie Fresh, I called Slick Rick, and I said, let's form an ensemble in the same way the Rat Pack formed an ensemble many years ago in Las Vegas.
Love the promo. Yeah.
Now, the Rat Pack was, of course, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin, Joey Bishop. 5 superstars of their time. Not unknowns, 5 superstars, established global stars, came together in Vegas to form an ensemble that you could only see in Vegas.
Yes.
And to this day, that show, The Rat Pack, in my opinion, is still the most iconic Las Vegas show of all time.
Okay.
And that lies at the foundation of the inspiration for Pass the Mic Live, the Las Vegas residency. So Ja Rule has coined us the Rap Pack, R.A.P., and Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, and myself are the nightly foundation. We're appearing every night of this residency through July.
Okay.
Now, we just announced rotating special guests.
Yes, you did.
So that each night is a unique experience. Since Pass the Mic Live began, since I brought this brand on the road, I have always used the phrase a one-time only event, a one-night only experience. And it was really important to us, Ja, Joe, Doug, Rick, and myself, to continue that. To create something that was not only a residency that would go down in Vegas history and change the game in Vegas, but that would entice people to come to the show not once, but twice or 3 times, because each night is a unique experience. Each night is a show that will never happen again. So we have just announced nightly special guests. Should I run down the dates?
You
real
have
quick for
to
you?
run
Okay.
down the dates.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on opening night, July 5th, we will be welcoming Raekwon and Ghostface Killah to the stage.
Loving it.
On night 2, July 6th, we will be welcoming Public Enemy to the stage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is only the second time that Public Enemy has performed in the United States of America in 7 years.
Really?
Words can't tell you how honored I am that Chuck and Flav have signed on to take Pass the Mic Live in Vegas to the next level. Now, weekend 2, July 12th and 13th, we will be welcoming none other than global superstar Akon to the stage.
My man, yeah.
Now, weekend 3, July 19th, we will be welcoming a duo that you don't often see together, Jermaine Dupri and Da Brat, together on stage. Now, we're creating something very, very, very special for that moment. I don't want to get too deep into all my surprise moments.
Make them wait. Yeah, they got to come
creating.
see it. Yep.
Now, closing night, July 20th, we will be welcoming 2 West Coast icons to join forces on stage. None other than Too Short and Warren G.
Let's go. West Coast, let's go.
Now, if Fat Joe was here, he would tell me, Cassidy, don't forget to tell him what we do. Don't forget to tell him what we're known for. And he's talking about surprise guests. First of all, you know I always have surprises up my sleeve. Pass the Mic was founded on the surprise element. When I premiered Pass the Mic Volume 1, 2, and 3, I never promoted who was on the show. I put that show together with my editor, Ian Park. Shout out to Ian, who did a phenomenal job helping me create this show. It was just the 2 of us and the artists. And all I did was say the date, pass the mic, be there for the premiere.
Yeah.
I never disclosed who was on the show. And even when the show transformed into a series of television specials on BET, I would say to BET, all right, we can announce a few. I know we're a TV network, but we can't announce them all.
Gotcha, yeah.
So surprises have always been a real important part of what I do. And to everyone who's on the show, Dougie Fresh is known for bringing people together on stage. Everything I do, I learned from Dougie Fresh. Let me just be clear. Everything I do, I learned from Dougie Fresh. And I feel so grateful that in many senses I feel like he has passed the torch and allowed me. He really passed me the mic.
Yeah.
And, you know, every time I see Doug, I remind him there is no DJ Cassidy. There is no Pass the Mic without Dougie Fresh. And Fat Joe, you know, he's known for bringing out
You never know who he's
everyone.
going to bring. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Fat Joe just did an anniversary show for himself at the Apollo Theater in New York City. The people he brought out, no one knew who was coming out.
Right.
I mean, Little Kim, The Lox, Dipset, R&B legend Kenny Burke came out saying "Rising to the Top." Keith Sweat came out, and so, you know, you never know who we're going to pass the mic to next. But when you come to Pass the Mic Live, the iconic Las Vegas residency,
Yes.
you can be prepared to see DJ Cassidy, Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, and of course, our special guest, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Public Enemy, Akon, Jermaine Dupri, The Brat, Too Short, and Warren G.
The best promoter I know ever. Nobody can sell your like you.
Well, this has been a dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it has been. And I love the fact that you went full circle because you brought it back to Dougie Fresh. Now, this says a lot about when you got Tretch's number, when you linked up with Dougie Fresh and Run. What happens to me, I feel like people say, well, how, you mess with DJ Cassidy. What y'all doing? We got this going on. So it's almost like co-signing what you're doing, solidifying what you have created. And that's why I feel like artists want to be on board for that because it's so special. And I don't know what your relationship or even if you know D Nice, but I feel like thank you so much to you and D Nice for getting us through that whole pandemic. Think about it.
Of course, 4 years ago, I think 1 month ago, if I'm not, actually, I think March, 4 years ago, he changed the game and did something that really changed the world.
Yeah.
And not only through music, but through technology. And it was magic. It was pure magic.
And it got so many people through those dark days. I mean, you guys brought the sun when we didn't have no sun shining during those times. So I applaud and thank you for that. And this is so deserving of you to be in Vegas doing this. But this lineup, again, it goes back to your relationships, to what you have built. And like you said, 4 years ago, you had no idea that you would be in Vegas 4 years later doing a residency.
Absolutely no idea.
For hip-hop.
When I premiered Volume 1, all I was thinking about was, I wonder if there's going to be enough demand for a Volume 2.
Yeah.
And then for a Volume 3. And before I knew it, 1 month later, it was a television show. And only at that point did I say to myself, when the world opens back up, this is going to be a live experience. But even at that point, I don't think I envisioned a Las Vegas residency happening so soon.
Yeah.
The stars have aligned in magical ways. And when I try to analyze why and how, it all goes back to the artist. Pass the Mic is a catalyst through which people are brought back to a special place and a special time through music.
Yeah.
Pass the Mic allows people to re-experience the soundtrack of their lives in a way like never before.
Yeah, agreed.
And the live experience has been, over the past year, as we've taken the show on the road, the most magical manifestation of what the TV show was. And at the end of the day, it all goes back to the artists. I'm merely the bridge. I'm merely the messenger. And I can say with certainty that Ja, Joe, Rick, Doug, and myself, along with the special guests, of course, are putting together an experience in Vegas that I truly believe is going to be groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
Is going to be trailblazing, and is going to go down in history as one of those iconic Las Vegas shows that people talk about forever.
Yeah.
We are drawing inspiration from not only the Rat Pack, but from all the great Las Vegas shows. Liberace, Elvis Presley, Wayne Newton, even non-musical shows like Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
They are all inspiring us to create a show with showmanship and theatrics like you've never seen. And I couldn't be more excited. And it's all I'm working on 24/7 until opening weekend.
I know you are. And before you go, I want to say this. First of all, you're dealing with a lot of men, a lot of artists that don't have egos. They all have their own success. So when they come on board, I don't think you ever have to deal with, no, I want to go out first, I want to go out last. They're past all that, which makes it even more special, right?
I think one of the greatest things about Pass the Mic is exactly what you've just hit on the head, is camaraderie.
Yes, 100%.
And one of the most beautiful things that I've experienced over the past year through all the live shows, whether we're in New York City or Greensboro, North Carolina, the most magical thing I've seen every night is actually, this might sound crazy, not on stage, but backstage.
I can only imagine.
The camaraderie is so magical and so beautiful, and with the risk of sounding overly poetic, has actually put tears in my eyes on some nights. And of course, I have camera crews filming all of this. And as I watch back the footage some nights, the most emotional parts of the night for me are experiencing the camaraderie between the artists backstage.
Yeah.
No ego, all love. And that camaraderie that I feel backstage translates to the stage. You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel the spirit of people physically and metaphorically passing each other the mic. And it's really a beautiful collaborative experience. And speaking of collaborative experiences, we're taking the collaborative moments of Pass the Mic to a whole other level in Vegas. Every Pass the Mic show puts forth various collaborative moments that are exciting.
Right.
But the Las Vegas experience is taking that to a whole other stratosphere.
I'm sure
This is, I think we were talking offline, but these shows are continuous experiences. So all the shows, ladies and gentlemen, that we've been talking about, whether it's the Prudential Center show in New Jersey, the Radio City show, the show in Greensboro, North Carolina that I just mentioned, no matter where in the country we've hit, every show has been a continuous 3-hour experience. When I hit the stage at 8 p.m., I don't leave till 11 p.m. It is one continuous, interweaved roller coaster ride of the soundtrack of your lives. And we're taking that and all the collaborative moments and all the collaboration you could ever imagine to Las Vegas levels for this residency. And yes, in case we haven't mentioned, tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster and selling fast. And selling fast. So, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to plan your weekend now.
Yeah.
Because all roads lead to Vegas. This July, DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live, the iconic Las Vegas residency, Planet Hollywood. Go to Ticketmaster right now. Choose your night. Choose your weekend, because honestly, you should go twice.
Yeah, you got to double up.
Don't wait to the last minute. Every show we've put on over the past year has sold out. You do not want to wait. These are all limited engagements. I suggest you book your tickets, buy your tickets now, book your trip now. We're all going to be hanging out. All of us are moving for the summer. I mean, Joe, Rick, Doug, and I are moving to Las Vegas at the end of June. We're staying through July. We're packing our tuxedos, our bow ties, our cummerbunds, our patent leather shoes. I encourage everyone to dress fly, dress the part. We're creating an experience. We're all going gambling after. Meet us at the roulette table. Yeah. And it's going to be a whole vibe and a whole experience.
Yes, it is. Cannot wait to be a part of that. Once again, Cassidy Nation, we got those tickets, so you got to stay tapped in to win. And you have this whole list of artists that's going to come hang out with you. So I got to ask you this before we go.
Oh, my.
If you had to get bailed out, if you were stuck on an island and you called everyone, who's coming first? Who do you think will get there first? And this is not throwing shade on anybody else, but who do you think will pick up first?
Okay, so just to clarify, say it again. Say it one more
If you
time.
need to get bailed out.
I need to get bailed out, and I have one phone call.
You have one phone call.
And I have to call someone on the Las Vegas bill. And I only have one call, and who am I calling?
Who you calling?
Dougie Fresh.
Oh! The entertainer of the year, of the decade.
Of the decade, of the culture.
You're right, of the culture.
The greatest entertainer.
Enough said, and so are you, my man. Thank you again for what you've done for hip-hop, and I can't wait to see you in Vegas.
Thank you, and thank my favorite station, K-Day, for always supporting from day one. When this all began, we were doing this interview thing on the phone and on Zoom. You were there from day one. You covered the journey from the ground up.
Yes,
so
sir.
You have me for life. I appreciate you.
Let's get it.